The first chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad introduces the concept of financial literacy and the difference between having a poor dad mentality and a rich dad mentality. The author, Robert Kiyosaki, contrasts his own upbringing with that of his friend Mike's, who had a father who was wealthy and taught him about money and financial literacy. Robert's own father was highly educated but struggled financially, and did not teach him about money or investing. The chapter sets the tone for the book, emphasizing the importance of financial education and the need to think differently about money in order to build wealth. Robert argues that the traditional ways of thinking about money, such as relying on a steady job and saving, are not enough to secure financial independence and prosperity. Instead, he advocates for taking calculated risks, investing in assets, and having multiple streams of income. In conclusion, the first chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad provides a framework for understanding financial literacy and how to acquire it. The book argues that the key to wealth is not just about earning a high income, but rather, it is about understanding how money works and making it work for you. The second chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad is titled The Rich Don't Work for Money. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki explains the difference between working for money and having money work for you. He emphasizes that the wealthy do not simply work for money, but instead, they work to acquire assets that will generate income for them. The author explains that the key to becoming financially independent is to shift your focus from earning a salary to acquiring assets that will generate passive income. He contrasts the difference between a typical employee's mindset, who works for money, with that of a successful investor, who has assets working for them. Robert argues that the rich focus on acquiring assets such as real estate, stocks, and businesses, while the poor and middle class focus on earning a salary and paying bills. The chapter also touches on the idea of taking calculated risks and stepping out of one's comfort zone in order to create financial opportunities. Robert encourages readers to educate themselves about money and investing, and to seek out opportunities that will increase their financial literacy and their wealth. In conclusion, the second chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad is about the importance of acquiring assets and the difference between working for money and having money work for you. The author argues that becoming financially independent requires a shift in mindset and a focus on acquiring assets that will generate passive income. The third chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad is titled Mind Your Own Business. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki argues that in order to achieve financial independence, it is necessary to develop an entrepreneurial mindset and start your own business. He explains that having your own business provides an opportunity to increase your income, control your financial future, and become less dependent on your job or the stock market. The author explains that one of the biggest differences between the rich and the poor is that the rich understand the value of starting their own business and have the courage to take the necessary risks. Robert highlights the importance of understanding the difference between an asset and a liability and how having a business can help you acquire assets that generate passive income. The chapter also touches on the idea that many people are afraid of failure and do not take the necessary risks to start their own business. Robert encourages readers to embrace failure as a necessary step towards success and to view it as a valuable learning experience. In conclusion, the third chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad is about the importance of starting your own business and developing an entrepreneurial mindset. The author argues that having your own business is a key component of financial independence and that taking calculated risks is necessary for success. He encourages readers to embrace failure as a valuable learning experience and to focus on acquiring assets that generate passive income. The fourth chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad is titled The History of Taxes and the Power of Corporations. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki discusses the history of taxes and the impact they have on wealth creation. He explains that taxes have been a part of society for thousands of years and that the wealthy have always found ways to minimize their tax liability. The author argues that taxes play a significant role in wealth creation and that understanding the tax system is crucial for financial success. He explains that the wealthy use corporations and other legal structures to minimize their tax liability and increase their wealth. Robert also highlights the importance of seeking out financial education and finding advisors who can help you understand the tax system and minimize your tax liability. The chapter also touches on the idea of taking control of your financial future and becoming more knowledgeable about taxes and the legal structures available to you. Robert encourages readers to educate themselves about taxes and to seek out opportunities to minimize their tax liability and increase their wealth. In conclusion, the fourth chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad is about the history of taxes and the impact they have on wealth creation. The author argues that taxes play a significant role in financial success and that understanding the tax system is crucial for maximizing wealth. He encourages readers to seek out financial education and advisors who can help them understand the tax system and minimize their tax liability. The fifth chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad is titled Intelligence Leads to Freedom. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki emphasizes the importance of financial intelligence in achieving financial freedom. He explains that financial intelligence is the ability to understand and use money to create wealth, and that it is a key factor in achieving financial independence. The author argues that financial intelligence is more important than education, intelligence, or hard work in achieving financial success. He explains that the wealthy understand the importance of financial education and continually seek out opportunities to increase their financial literacy. Robert encourages readers to educate themselves about money, investments, and the financial markets, and to seek out advisors who can help them grow their wealth. The chapter also touches on the idea that financial freedom is not simply about earning more money, but about making smart decisions with the money you have. Robert argues that financial intelligence is a crucial component of financial freedom and that it requires a lifetime of learning and continuous improvement. In conclusion, the fifth chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad is about the importance of financial intelligence in achieving financial freedom. The author emphasizes that financial intelligence is more important than education, intelligence, or hard work and that it requires a lifetime of learning and continuous improvement. He encourages readers to educate themselves about money and to seek out opportunities to increase their financial literacy.